Hello to everybody who loved the title of that one Arctic Monkeys album. It's Beautiful Anonymous. 1 hour, one phone call, no names, no holds barred.
I'd rather go one-on-one. I think it'll be more fun, and I'll get to know you, and you'll get to know me.
Hi, everybody. Chris Gethard here. And if you're somebody who doesn't like an intro, I get it. There's info on our live taping for episode 500 in the intro. If you're interested in that, check it out. If you want to skip it, it's only about 4 minutes this week, relatively short by my normal rambly standards. Enjoy it, everybody. Hi, everybody. Chris Gethard here. Welcome to another episode of Beautiful Anonymous. As I've been saying lately, it's the show where we examine the human condition, one anonymous phone call at a time. One of Time Magazine's 100 best podcasts of all time, which I still feel cool about and I still like mentioning. And I'm trying to be a little less apologetic and humble and embrace it. And it's cool that Time Magazine said that. It's very cool. Want to remind everybody, if you're catching up on episodes, we recently announced that we're going to be doing a live taping for our 500th episode, which is coming out in October. We're not going to pre-plan it. We're not going to have a whole bunch that we record so we can release some certified, unquestionable banger. We're going to go on stage the weekend before. Whatever we get, we're releasing. It will be at Smodcastle Cinemas in Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey, which is absolutely one of my favorite little movie theaters. It's owned by Kevin Smith. It's in Atlantic Highlands, which is a shockingly charming town on the northern part of the Jersey Shore. Come on out to the Jersey Shore, everybody, and make a trip out of it. You come, you hang out, you get some good food, you go walk around down by the shore. Maybe you go walk the boardwalk at Asbury Park first, and you see what all the hipsters are talking about with how lovely and amazing Asbury Park is. And then you come out to Smodcastle Cinemas at 7 p.m. on October 17th. You can get the tickets for that at punchup.live/Chris Gethard. And we got to sell this bad boy out. So get your tickets today. It's going to be such a good show. I'll be there. I'm going to announce some more fan service stuff soon. If you didn't get a copy of the magazine, we'll probably just be selling them live there. Come on out. It's going to be a great time. Also, for people in the New York area, September 24th, my variety show, That Show, returns. And I'm working right now as we speak on getting an absolute comedy legend to come be a part of it. And maybe that's been announced by the time you're hearing this. Go check my Instagram for the info on that. Anyway, this week's caller, you guys are going to love. You're going to hear right away, the pitch right out of the gate is like, I've got patents. I didn't learn to walk or read until my 20s, and I'm a clown. So right out of the gate, you're going to hear me going, well, I don't know where to even begin with this. And I'll tell you, when we get into the flow of this call and we start to hear it, I'm sitting here and I'm going, there's so many points where I'm not blowing smoke. You're all going to have the same reaction I did. When you hear about this caller's path in life and the way the caller has consistently made choices that, how would I phrase it? They're never the easy choice, sometimes a stubborn choice, but in general, inspiring choices that are reflective of an attitude that is, I will not lay down. I will push through anything you put in front of me. It's really cool. Makes you feel good to hear this caller's stories and how the caller's choices seem to consistently be of a mindset that is, okay, that's in front of me. I'll push right through it. What's next? I'll push through that too. Let's go. It's cool. And the caller, you're going to hear right from the start. You're going to be surprised that I said that, because right out of the gate, there's a warmth and a positivity to this caller's energy where you're not going to see what's coming. And when you hear it, you're going to go, damn, in a really positive, good way. This one's going to make you say, damn, in a really pleasant way. Enjoy this one, everybody.
Thank you for calling Beautiful Anonymous. A beeping noise will indicate when you are on the show with the host.
Hello.
Well, hello there.
Hey, how's it going? I like your energy already.
It's going great. Today's a great day to have a great day.
Wow, this is what I need in my life. I didn't get any sleep last night, so I've been grumpy. So I need somebody who says something like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess my short little pitch, and then you can ask questions around however you want to go, is that by day, I am an engineer with 2 patents, and on the weekends, I am an international award-winning clown, and I learned to walk and read in my 20s.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to write all this down. 2 patents. What did you say as your field that you had the patents in?
Engineering.
2 patents, engineering, professional clown. And remind me of the third pitch just for my notes here, because we will be getting to all of this.
Yeah, I learned to walk and read in my 20s.
You have patents and you didn't learn to read until your 20s.
Yeah.
Okay. Where to begin? I'm sensing that maybe the last thing could be a little, could have some tension or even sadness involved. Is that true?
Yeah, I would say that's true.
Okay. So why don't we start with the clown stuff and then we'll ease our way into it.
Sounds good. So I graduated from clown college 2 years ago, which, yes, clown college is a real thing. It's not like a university degree, but it was maybe 4 months. I think it was like 150 hours of education kind of stuff. And then this past spring, I went to my first like clown international convention, and the skit that I wrote won first place.
Look at that. Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, it's crazy because it's like most of the people there have been clowning longer than I've been alive, and like it's like their job is to clown, and I'm still like trying to figure out what to do. But I spent probably like 8 months writing my skit, and it was a parody of The Lion King, I Just Can't Wait to Be King. But I made it, I just can't wait to be a clown. And then over like the 2-minute song, I like learned how to be a clown on stage, basically.
Now, I know Ringling Brothers ran a clown college famously. I imagine it still exists. I'm not certain. But it sounds like you're more on that end of
so that one,
clowning?
Yeah, the Ringling Brothers one closed. And so I guess technically like that's the clown college. And then the one I went to is called Clown School. But that is mostly just gatekeeping. But yeah, at the convention, there were several of the instructors that were old Ringling clowns, and those were our teachers.
That's pretty badass. And how connected is that to like, there's a thing in comedy happening right now where there's a real trend towards clowning that has its roots with like French theatrical clowning.
I don't know. They didn't really talk about that too much.
Yeah.
The main ones they told us about were like whiteface, which is like the clown who does everything right. And is like a skilled clown. So those are like your jugglers or your acrobats or those kinds of things. Then a goose clown is usually like the butt of the joke. And they kind of suck at everything. They're the ones that get pied in the face or fall off of things. And then tramp or hobo clown is more of the like finding humor out of dark situations kind of thing.
Which one did you feel most at home in?
Oh, definitely a goose, the fool one.
So you're more taking the pie
I
in the
definitely
face.
feel most comfortable. Yeah, exactly. I love when people are laughing at me, so that worked pretty well.
If I went to this clown college, I would probably be attracted to the hobo tramp clown, the sort of image of sadness that is my bread and butter.
Yeah. I think so. And I think like when you see a picture of a tramp clown, a lot of times people think it's like only sadness, but like some of the tramp clowns I know are some of the funniest people I know. And it's more just like very much your vibe of being able to find humor in a dark situation and twist things to like when there shouldn't be light, being able to find it kind of thing.
Fun fact about me. First time I ever got on stage in front of other people was in second grade. My class did some sort of presentation for the rest of the school, and I played a hobo clown in a second grade presentation.
That's awesome.
So I've been playing a foolish clown avatar who minds sadness for humor since the age of 8, turns out.
There you go. They tell us that the best way to find your clown character is just to exaggerate your favorite parts of yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's true for a lot of comedy. I know with the old improv, This is a conversation I've had with many a nervous young improviser. Now, can I ask how old you are these days? Just the general range.
Yeah, I'm in my late 20s.
Now, this is fascinating, and I think we have to start getting into it because clowning traditionally, very physical kind of theater, it gets especially circus style clowning, which it sounds like, you have instructors who were with the Ringling Brothers. This is associated with physical theater, with acrobatics at times, and yet you did not learn to walk until your 20s. So I feel like I gotta ask the background on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they're combined based on like how I made my clown character. So I'll start with clown and then work backward. So I wear an AFO now, which is like a leg brace. And it doesn't matter how crazy your costume is. That's always the first thing kids are going to ask about is what's that stick on your leg, or what's that black thing, or why does your leg look weird, or whatever it is. And so to try to get in front of that, I made my character like around bouncing. And so I say that the AFO is my Tigger spring that helps me bounce. And then I wear Twinkies in my hair instead of a wig. And then my clown name, I don't know if you want my clown name. It's not my name, but
that's up to you.
Sure. I think based on this description, if someone knows me, they're going to know me already because I put a lot of effort into making my clown unique. But so my clown name is Boing, to kind of carry through that bouncingness. And then like, I think it gives me the ability to bounce is how I describe it. But a lot of what I do are more stationary. Like, I'll like lead a game and then have the kids go off and run, but I'm not like chasing them. I'll just kind of tell them how to do it and then be more of like a spectator kind of thing. And then I also do a lot of like balloon twisting and like little comedy magic shows and that sort of stuff that's more stationary.
So you're doing kids parties, you're doing hands-on, you're the clown that shows up to entertain young people.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. And obviously the next follow-up is what necessitates the AFO.
Yeah. So, okay, let's see how to summarize it. So I could walk and could run when I was little. And then sometime during COVID, I don't remember when, I was going to go in and have a surgery to have like an internal brace put in my leg. Because I would flip my foot like entirely upside down. So like, where the laces are, I had a hole in my shoe from dragging it on the floor so much. And so they were going to go in and put an internal brace. And then they went in and realized that I didn't have any ligaments in my ankle when they opened it up for the surgery, which is a little necessary. And so then basically they're going to do it on both ankles. And then I was allergic to the material on the right ankle, so it did a different material on the left ankle. But then the allergic reaction just kept like getting worse and worse. And so I wound up having 6 surgeries over the course of 8 months. And then was completely non-weight bearing for 2 full years. And then on the tail end of that, it took about another year to be able to walk to the mailbox. So about 20 feet or so. And then like probably 2024 was when I first started like being able to walk a normal day's amount kind of thing.
So you relearned to walk in your 20s. But it sounds like, so was this a congenital condition?
Yeah. So it's called CMT, or Charcot-Marie-Tooth. It's named after the doctors who invented it. So it's kind of a nonsense name. But it's a degenerative nerve disorder. So like the nerves, the signal from my brain doesn't reach my toes. It just kind of gets lost somewhere along the way. I like to explain it kind of like if you're sending a letter in the mail, like sometimes it gets there and it's great, but sometimes it's just like you sent it and it didn't reach its destination and who knows where it is now. And that's kind of what the nerve signals are doing to my body.
Wow. And is it, I'm reading up on it a little bit now. It also says that it's a progressive condition, which is this something that you or your family growing up noticed? Is it something that progresses slowly where maybe in a day-to-day basis you're not even noticing until all of a sudden someone from the outside goes, oh wait, the gate here, the steps, what's going on? Like, what's the way that this shows up in your life and progresses as far as you noticing?
Yeah, I'd say definitely both. We used to joke that like the family reunions growing up, like literally everyone was in leg braces or wheelchairs or something. And so like me and my sisters were always in charge of coming up with the family reunion games. And we always had to come up with like fully seated games or like crazy hat contests, things like that wouldn't involve a lot of mobility. So I think I kind of saw the end early, I guess. And then
can I jump in and just ask,
for me, I think,
is CMT common in your family?
Yeah. So it's mostly like all of my dad's generation, all of his siblings have it. And then the generation above,
wow.
I think there's 7 kids and all of them have it.
Wow. So this wasn't a shocking revelation to anybody.
No. And then I think on top of that, I was able to play sports growing up. I wore braces on both legs, but I was able to still play sports through it. I think part of that, I mean, the braces definitely help. I think more than that, I was stubborn and didn't mind being hurt. So like the 7 years of middle and high school, I spent about 3.5 cumulative years of those on crutches.
Wow. And what sports were you playing?
Mostly field hockey.
A pretty violent, like notoriously fast-paced and pretty violent sport.
Yeah, and I played backline defense, so basically you get all the same shots that the goalkeeper gets, but you don't wear any pads. So I would always have just like massive welts all over my body.
Now, this and the clowning tell me a lot about you, because Well, it absolutely does, right? Like I would have to imagine a lot of people, and it sounds like you've seen examples of, I would have to imagine in your own family, a wide range of how people handle their CMT diagnosis and surgeries. And I would have to imagine it's not too common for someone to go, okay, I'm going to play field hockey. And then later in life, you have to relearn how to walk, and you go, I'm going to go do circus-style clowning, which is a notoriously physical style of theater. And not only is that going to be part of the process of me reclaiming my body autonomy, but when I'm picking a character, the entire framing of my character will be to, in fact, call attention to the thing people might sometimes notice about me first in a way that some people would view as uncomfortable. No, actually, I'm Boing. I'm Springs. I'm Tigger. You want to look at my leg braces? Let's make it all about the leg braces. And there's a part of me that feels like, right out of the gate, I said, you have this positive energy, and here I am feeling tired and grumpy. But then the more you talk, the more I realize that some of your life, and maybe you're not someone who uses language like I do, maybe I'm a classless North Jersey person. There's a part of me that realizes you go, oh, I'm going to be dealing with this shit through school. I'm playing fucking field hockey. I'm going to be dealing with this stuff in my 20s. I have to relearn how to walk. Stare at my legs, motherfuckers. I dare you. I will name myself Boing. I'll hang slinkies from my hair too. Why don't you stare at that as well? I will not apologize. I am claiming this. This is my story. I'm in control of it. It's really badass.
Thanks. Yeah, I think it's definitely taken a lot of work to get there. I think growing up, I was definitely much more shy and wanted to just disappear into walls. But I think a big part is like my uncle, he was honorably discharged from the Navy because of his CMT. He jokes it was because they got mad at him for cutting holes in his shoes to let his hammer toe stick out. But I mean, definitely because of the CMT. But when he got the level of brace I'm wearing now, he was maybe 50. So significantly later than me, but he basically took that as a death sentence and was like, I guess I can never leave my house, and I'm going to wear this thing to go to the grocery store, and that's my life now. And I saw that, and especially like when I got prescribed the brace I'm currently wearing, I was like, no, I don't want that. Like, I got so much life to live. Like, give me the best brace you can that's going to let me do all my crazy things. And so it's been really fun working with the orthotist to be like, this is where my body is, but like, this is what I want to do. So like, do you have a product that can help me do that? So it's similar research to like the Paralympic, like very sport specific, like running blades or skiing sleds or those kinds of things. It's a similar vein to that of like, let's mash technology and drive to be able to do what I want.
There's some drawn out thing here about shopping around and capitalism, and it's the type of joke I would usually make, but I'm just going to call out that this would be the place for me to make that joke based on the sentence I just said, and we are now going to go to the ads. I started wearing glasses in, I think it was 3rd grade. And I can tell you that shopping for glasses was always a very stressful experience. From when I was a little kid, you go, you're going to spend a lot of money. It defines the actual aesthetics of how you look and other people perceive you. And it was always so stressful to me as a kid to buy glasses. And now buying glasses is not stressful at all. Warby Parker changed all that. It's high quality stuff, first of all. Warby Parker uses nothing but premium materials in their frames. Warby Parker designs every frame in-house. The Warby Parker collection includes silhouettes, colors, and fits made to suit every face. And I will tell you, there are some places where you can order glasses sight unseen, and they are junk, and they don't have this level of quality put into them, not by a long shot. Warby Parker makes things easy. everything you need, whether it's eyeglasses, sunglasses, contact lenses, eye exams. You can shop online, at home. You can also go to their stores. Warby Parker has over 300 plus retail locations across the U.S. and Canada where you can get styled by one of their friendly expert advisors. The affordability is huge. I used to have panic. I used to have actual panic because not only was it a physical choice that defined how I looked, I knew these things cost so much money. And when I was growing up, my family didn't have money. I'm sitting here going, make the right choice, take care of it. Warby Parker glasses start at $95. They include prescription lenses with all the things you want, the anti-reflective, scratch-resistant coatings. Many Warby Parker locations offer comprehensive eye exams starting at $85. You can add a pair and save 15% when you purchase 2 or more prescription pairs of glasses or sunglasses. That offer is available both with at-home shopping and in stores. There's free shipping, 30-day returns. This is compassionate. This is forward-thinking. Glasses are a fact in so many of our lives, and it does not need to be stressful. It can actually be a pretty pleasant thing. You take a quiz when you shop online. It's easy. It answers 90% of your questions before you even need to ask them. It removes so much of the stress, and it allows the process to become pleasant, and that obviously is going to make you feel totally comfortable experimenting, trying new styles, asking the questions you want to ask. It's awesome. I use Warby Parker. You should too. I'm wearing Warby Parker glasses right now. Warby Parker has over 300 plus locations to help you find your next pair of glasses. You can also head over to warbyparker.com/beautiful right now to try on any pair virtually. That's warbyparker.com/beautiful. warbyparker.com/beautiful. This episode is brought to you by IQBAR, our exclusive snack sponsor. IQBAR is the better for you plant protein-based snacks made with brain-boosting nutrients to refuel, nourish, and satisfy hunger without the sugar crash. IQBAR is totally free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, artificial sweeteners. This is a natural, anytime snack. IQBAR's plant protein bars are packed with high-quality ingredients to help keep you physically and mentally fit. With over 20,000 five-star reviews and counting, more people than ever are starting their days on the right foot with IQBAR's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. I have so much to say about IQBAR right now. I have had an IQBAR for breakfast the past 6 days in a row. I'm on a kick where I want to be wide awake in the morning, be healthy, know that I have good things in my body, but also eat a small breakfast to try to, I've said it on the show before. My relationship with eating is often driven by stress, so I'm practicing portion control, and I've realized IQBAR, perfect grab and go breakfast for me and where I'm at right now. Also need to say a couple things. Earlier today, my wife Hallie texted me and said, can you please stock up on my coffee sticks, which is of course the IQ Joe, IQBAR's coffee product. My wife loves them. Just asked me earlier today. I didn't even know I'd be recording this. She was like, we need more coffee sticks. Get coffee sticks. And I just ordered a big, giant variety pack of them for her. On top of it, the IQ Mix hydration mix I'm becoming weirdly obsessed with. I have not crossed this threshold yet, but I'm starting to think that I need to figure out if there are any online communities of people discussing IQ Mix because I legitimately have come to love it. They just put out a flavor that's half iced tea, half lemonade. It's really good. And it's what made me think, like, do I need to go find an online? Is there a Discord where people are discussing their favorite IQ Mix flavors? Are there other people getting weirdly into IQ Mix hydration mix from IQBAR like me? Is that only me? Is this the best ad read of all time? If it is, it's because these are genuine aspects of my life and my increasingly committed relationship to every product IQBAR puts out. Outside of them being an advertiser, this is real. And right now, IQBAR is offering our special podcast listeners 20% off all IQBAR products, plus get free shipping. To get your 20% off, text BEAUTIFUL to 64,000. Text BEAUTIFUL to 64,000. That's BEAUTIFUL to 64000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details. Boll and Branch. I love Boll and Branch. I just slept on my new Boll and Branch sheets for the past 2 nights. We put a new set of Boll and Branch sheets on, and my goodness, we are in August. So if you've ever been to New Jersey in August, you know there's exactly two options happening, which is that the air conditioner is on and everything's brutally way too cold at 3 a.m, or we chance that it's going to cool down overnight and the first few hours of sleep are in 90-degree heat. No middle ground in a New Jersey August. But guess what? When you got Boll and Branch sheets, you got that waffle blanket, it doesn't matter. You're having a good night's sleep. It's legit. It helps so much to have quality bedding. And Boll and Branch is throwing fastballs every time. If you're looking for a new set of sheets, Boll and Branch is absolutely the answer. You can feel the quality right away. You can relax. You climb into bed and you feel that difference. You really, really do. And guess what? When you wash the sheets, they just keep getting softer. They break them in. The washing process doesn't start degrading them. It breaks them in. It's awesome. And you put them on your bed. You'll lay down and you'll go, these are better sheets than what I'm used to. And that waffle blanket is a game changer. It keeps me totally warm in the winter. And yet right now in August when I'm recording this, I grab the same blanket as I do in February. It's awesome. I honestly don't even understand exactly how the physics of that work, but I'm glad it is out there. You can feel this difference as well. Feel the difference an extraordinary night's sleep can make with Boll and Branch. Get 15% off plus free shipping on your first set of sheets at bollandbranch.com/beautiful. That's Boll and Branch, BOLLAND. branch.com/beautiful. Save 15% and unlock free shipping. Exclusions apply. Thanks again to all of our advertisers. Now let's get back to the phone call.
Let's mash technology and drive to be able to do what I want.
It's incredible. It's really inspiring to hear from you personally, for you to also be able to point to things like the Paralympics and you realize this is why something like the Paralympics is so important and is not just an afterthought to the Olympics. When you realize, oh, there are all kinds of people out there who can look to that specific experience and you can say, I saw examples that made me realize I could define my own life and I could start making requests and choices based on the things I wanted to achieve. It's hugely important. And I think sometimes the Olympics come along, the Paralympics happen afterwards, and it gets regarded as this sort of afterthought or echo. It's not. It's one of these things where people sit here and go, representation is important. And that becomes a buzzword. And then other people start to go, oh, enough with the woke stuff. And you go, no, not enough with the woke stuff. More of the woke stuff. More examples for young people of what they can achieve, of what makes them feel inspired, of what makes them feel like they can stop hiding and or apologizing and be themselves. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful to hear. And it's so funny to hear you come out of the gate and talk about going to clown college, but then also to realize every birthday you do, first of all, has the potential that there is a kid in that room. And I'm sure you think about this, might be a kid who's walking their own path and whatever that means, who sits here and goes, oh, well, if Boing can do it, I can too. In the same way that you can point towards the Paralympics in that last stretch. And that even in the parties where that's not happening, even you're also teaching empathy, you're teaching compassion, and you're giving an example for young people who might be, a lot of us in the past, and I think it's still sadly the case, you see someone in braces or a wheelchair or someone who moves differently than the so-called standard, and kids are, I think, often trained to go, ooh, what's going on? And it's laced with fear or discomfort or looking away. And now they got an example that they can point to and go, no, Boing was rad and taught us cool, fun games. And we met Boeing. We know Boeing. This is not a foreign experience to us. What you're doing is very cool and super strong.
Thank you. Yeah, I think those little moments are my favorite parts about clowning. Where it's like I don't have a desire to like be on a stage or at a state fair, things like that, where it's like performing to hundreds of people. I think my favorite part about clowning is when I make a connection with like a single person and make them smile. So like one of my favorite stories, I've been learning sign language on and off. I don't know a lot, but I prioritize learning things related to my clown skit. So I know all the animals that I can make out of balloons and the colors and how to ask, do you want a balloon animal? And there was a kid in a wheelchair who I guess was nonverbal, how I saw him interacting with other people. And so I went up to him and then like spoke as I was signing and was like, do you want a balloon animal? I can make whatever. And he just got the biggest smile on his face. And I was like, yeah, you're why I'm a clown. Like,
it's awesome. It's really awesome.
Yeah.
It's also, I can't claim to be any sort of authority on clown. I am friends with a lot of people who are getting very into clown in the comedy scene. And one of the things I truly appreciate about it is that you get to pick aspects of yourself, highlight them, become this avatar, exaggerate them, make the absurdity of whatever you're highlighting grow. But by making this thing highlighted, you make it almost comfortable, like a hobo clown who keeps tripping and falling, or a goose clown who maybe keeps tripping and falling. You sit here and you go, oh, it happens enough times and it's funny, instead of you feeling bad for them or it feeling awkward or it being sad. And there's something so beautiful about an art form that says, shine a spotlight on the aspect of yourself that you want to make front and center. And then we'll figure out how to own that spotlight with that being the face forward aspect. It's really a beautiful thing. It's really a beautiful thing. And it sounds like you're doing such cool stuff with it. I have to flag, none of this explains reading. You also mentioned that you learned to read in your 20s.
Yeah. So I was diagnosed with dyslexia like 3 years ago, kind of at the same time of all the ankle stuff, and was told that I read at a second grade level. So some of them were grade level, so it was at second grade. Some of them were percentile, and about half the tests were okay. One thing that's really cool about the dyslexia test is, in order to be diagnosed with dyslexia, you have to show a discrepancy between like overall intelligence and reading ability. And so there has to be a mismatch there. And so half the test memory and like processing speed and like general intelligence kinds of things. And then half the test is specifically reading focused. So all of the intelligence ones, I scored like 97, 98th percentile. All of the reading ones, I scored like 4th, 5th percentile. There were a couple that they didn't even give a number. They just put a dash. And I was like, that's kind of insulting. Yeah. So then that was, so then you're like, yeah, 100% dyslexic. And also I have no idea how you like succeeded in school if like I'm just making stuff up when I read things.
Is that something you were in touch with? Were you aware of this?
Yeah, I think now knowing it's dyslexia, I can point to a lot of things growing up. That very much would be. Like I know in high school, my summer reading book I wanted to read was a picture book, and I didn't understand why I wasn't allowed to read that, because they were like, read something that is a little challenging for you. And I picked something that fulfilled that criteria, and then they were like, not that. And I was like, I don't know what you want from me. I think it's also evident, like all the math related classes I did really well in. And I think that's the answer for how I how I was able to do it, because most math doesn't have words. And then, but then like all the reading classes were definitely the ones that I did not do good in. And I also think there were some people in my life that I felt that I should have been able to trust, who noticed that I struggled with reading and made fun of me for it instead of helping me. And that led to like just like internalizing all of it and like thinking that like I was the problem, or I was stupid, or I was like, I would always say like, I'm not smart, I just work hard. Like those are different. And now I can see that is not true. But so yeah, I think I did see it growing up, but was never in a space to receive the help that I needed.
So you're crushing it at the math and science side of things. You're having your guard up and managing to bullshit your way through the English and history side of things more on that end of it. Mm-hmm. You mentioned I know I've already asked you, what's that?
I was just going to say Spark Notes were a lifesaver.
So many Spark Notes.
It's just a website that summarizes your book.
And you mentioned, I know I asked you twice, it was engineering. You have your patents related to engineering, right? Mm-hmm. So that's a thing you go to college for. Mm-hmm. And were you in college or out of college?
Because I'm out of college now.
When you were diagnosed as dyslexic, had you already graduated college?
Oh yes, I had already graduated.
Wow, you made it all the way through. All the way through. So you were saying you chose engineering for college?
Because I made a list of every single degree that like most universities offer, and then looked at the syllabus and chose the major that had the least amount of reading credits required. And that's how I became an engineer.
What type of engineering?
Mechanical. I'm actually doing foot and ankle implants right now.
You are?
Yeah.
So you went, this is so, we're coming up on 500 of these episodes. And I try not to be histrionic, but I sit here and go, I wonder what the community surrounding the show is going to say. I sit here and go, have we ever had somebody who's kind of a more badass throwing middle fingers up at perceived limitations? Oh, really? I've got this going on with my ankles. It's going to affect my whole life. Field hockey, clowning. Oh, and by the way, I'll go get an engineering degree and specifically start working on devices that will help people like me who come after me. Like this is like a superhero level origin story, you know? This is like, cool. You want to give me this diagnosis? I guess I'll just go and try to defeat life and all of its expectations in response.
I really love hearing you say that, because during the like 4 or 5 years that ankles were at its worst, when I couldn't walk basically at all or at all, the thing I kept saying was, I just want to be a badass again, and I can't do that right now. And so you saying that is incredible, and I love it.
I'm not trying to blow smoke, but I sit here, I go, God damn, the amount of things you've done that are like, you know, what's the title of the Arctic Monkeys put out that album with the great title, Everything You Think I Am, That's What I'm Not. I feel like you're living that.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, cool. You're going to look at me and make 10 assumptions. Talk to me for 30 seconds, and I'll explain to you how every one of those assumptions is false, defeated, in the past, and all those assumptions can fuck off. It's cool. It's cool to hear.
Well, thank you.
How wild to be on the other side of college and get a diagnosis for dyslexia, and sad. And I bet and again, it makes me a combination of very angry and very sad to hear, you know, you had some moments where you felt like you could trust some people. They wound up making fun of you. You stuffed the insecurity of this deep down. And, you know, you're clearly a very smart person, and mechanical engineering degree. You know, had this been flagged earlier, had those people not made fun of you to the point where you hid this, you know, you must look back at life with some regret, in the sense that if you got a dyslexia diagnosis when you were 14 or 15, maybe there would have been pathways towards, you know, making testing easier, towards people specialized in helping dyslexic kids figure out how to embrace a love of reading. And, you know, it's not an easy to conquer thing, but there are people out there who specialize in it. There must be you must look back and go, what a bummer that diagnosis came so late in the game.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. College was insanely hard for me. I think like when people talk about like, oh, like the college life, or like meeting friends, or like partying, whether it's alcoholic or not, whatever, just like that whole like vibe, I definitely didn't have any of that. I spent literally 100% of my time studying. And then I would like carve out half an hour for each meal where I wasn't allowed to study. And then every single other second of the day, I was doing stuff. And it was just definitely trying to find all the workarounds. So like, I mean, I discovered screen readers on my own.
Discovered what on your own?
If someone would have told me that years earlier, would have been screen readers, like text to speech.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I could hear the textbook. Or like a lot of teachers, if you volunteer to grade their homework, maybe they grade your homework a little easier. Or like if you go to office hours every week, then they'll give you some extra credit back on a test, or things like that. And just finding like every single possible way to get points that weren't from the book. Yeah, and I think like self-confidence and like self-love point of view, like I think that's probably the biggest impact of having a diagnosis go unfound like that, is like I thought that if there was an issue, like my teachers, specifically in a class titled reading or something like that, would notice or say something, or I don't know. And so when that doesn't happen, it definitely became the default to just like blame myself, and then like make myself feel smaller and smaller and smaller. And I think learning about dyslexia is like, I wish I could go back to my younger self and be like, it's not your fault. It's okay. Your brain's just a little different. And like, it's okay.
You know what's really striking me in a very powerful way and makes my heart really bleed for you is you've talked about your CMT diagnosis, everything that's come along with it. And it sounds like, you know, starting in high school, field hockey, let's go. It seems like, and it's really striking and tells you a lot about how hard it can be to be young. But it sounds to me like that was something that people can see. And maybe because they were able to see it, it almost helped you go into this very proactive mode of, I'm going to own this. And it seems like that started young. Whereas trouble with reading, and you didn't even have a name for it yet, which is something that people can't see and something that can stay hidden. It sounds like the issues with reading caused far more insecurity than the CMT. I don't know if that's accurate, but it's how you're describing it now. It sounds like that was the case.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think with CMT, it felt more like, yeah, my body's not built the same as yours, but like, don't tell me I can't do this. Where with dyslexia, I think it very much felt like there were lots of things that I couldn't do. And that difference I hated. So I don't know, like, and it was just like more like fear around it. Like I would have like legitimate panic attacks if I went into a library. And like, I think the emotional aspect of the CMT or of the dyslexia, because I didn't know what it was and it felt inherent to me as opposed to like something that I could work around.
That's the
much bigger deal.
That's the real regret with your diagnosis coming late in life, because the way you're built, if someone told you, oh, this is dyslexia when you were 13 or 14, I bet you would have walked into a library and went, now I know what it is and I can beat the shit out of it. Because that's kind of that's how you're kind of built. But when it's a thing that you go, something's up, people make fun of it, I don't even want to step into the library because I can't even function. I can't breathe right. I bet if you had gotten that diagnosis, it would have been cool. Game on. Let's go. Because that seems to be how you approach a lot of adversity in life. And that's the real regret. That's the real shame in not getting that diagnosis young.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's definitely true, because I have been doing tutoring now to try to learn some of the skills that I never had before. And just like the simple concept that letters make sounds, and that like the written alphabet is supposed to be a visual symbol of the spoken language, and they're the same thing. Like just that concept alone, I feel like would have gone miles. Yeah.
I mean, that's so revealing and eye-opening about the experience of having dyslexia at all, let alone undiagnosed as a kid, because anyone listening would go, well, of course that's what an alphabet is. It's a visual representation of the sounds, and you put them together and you go, oh, to hear you say it in that blunt way, you go, well, if you're a young kid and you've got dyslexia, that actually, like, those synapses don't fire in a way where that's easy or even obvious. Hence why it's such a hard thing to overcome for so many people.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I know in our tutoring, like a lot of times she'll teach me strategies to work it out. And then like sometimes like, I don't know, like if a vowel can make two different sounds, she's like, try both of them and see which one sounds like a real word. And I'm like, well, why do I have to assume that I know a word first and then figure it out on the word? And she's like, because they're the same thing. And I'm like, but I wanted to read it to be its own like existence. I don't want to have to think about a word I know exists that fits the spelling pattern.
I'm fairly certain, based on my school experience, that if I sat down and got a diagnosis, that someone would tell me I have dyscalculia, I believe is how they pronounce it, which is, the shorthand would be that,
the math one?
Dyslexia is to reading as dyscalculia is to math. Like I actually feel when I look at numbers, I will very quickly, before they get complex, feel like thing is jamming up, like feel like someone just pounded every key on a typewriter at the same time. And and I'm in no way trying to have stolen valor over your experience, but I bring it up because I wanted to ask. I remember as a kid being so frustrated and going, there's calculate, like this is so hard for me. And I had teachers who made fun of me. I had kids who made fun of me. I was so smart in other areas that the teachers would try to motivate me by making fun of me. And I remember a couple of them. My 7th grade math teacher, I remember his name and his face to this day. And what a dickhead. He made fun of me. He made fun of me as a motivator. It was a bummer. But I remember saying, there's calculators. They can help me. Like, why are you making fun of me? And I remember him going, well, you're not going to have a calculator in your pocket 24 hours a day. And now we're living in 2025. And I wish that I could travel back in time and shake my phone at him and go, yeah, I don't have a calculator in my pocket. I have an entire goddamn computer, you asshole. Why were you so mean to me? And I feel like the same thing must be true for you with audiobooks of like, well, I bet you have your version of that. You got to sit down and just read it. No one can sit here and read it for you. And it's like every book issued on planet Earth right now, they have an option where someone reads it for you.
Right.
But you're not as full of bitterness and rage as I am. I don't get the sense. I have some bitterness and some rage in there.
I try not to be, but I'd say it's more like heartbroken, both for younger me, but also for all the kids who struggle with whatever it is. I mean, there's so many ways brains are different. It's going to look different for everyone, but when the response is like either punishment or making fun of instead of understanding and helping, that's terrible. And like, those are the memories that are going to stick with people forever and like shape how people think about themselves.
Now tell me about these patents. That was beautifully said. You summed it up so hardcore. It's beautiful what you just said. So now I feel like I can ask you about the patents. Pause right there. You think I forgot the patents? I'm not the type to forget patents. Good stories coming up about the patents, by the way. The story's good. We'll be right back. Moms, you do everything for everyone else, and somehow your own wellness always gets bumped to the bottom of the list. That's where Live It Up Super Greens comes in. It's a daily habit that actually works. No hassle, no fuss, just scoop, mix, and go. Whether you're tackling school drop-off, conference calls, or the laundry mountain, this is one easy win that supports digestion, energy, and immune health in just 30 seconds. Live It Up Super Greens is an all-natural blend of over 20 superfoods formulated with organic vegetables, probiotics, digestive enzymes, and naturally derived ingredients. Just one scoop a day can promote gut health, support your immune system, and give you that feel-good energy you can count on. It's designed by nutritionists, third-party tested for purity, and made to be easy on your stomach. No grassy taste or chalky texture. Mix it in water, milk, or a smoothie, and make it a healthy habit you'll look forward to. You'd never believe a green drink tastes so good. If you haven't mixed super greens into your routine, Live It Up is a must-add. It tastes so much better than the others, and it's way more affordable. Live It Up Super Greens offers premium quality without the premium price. It's one of the most affordable ways to support your health daily. I've been using Live It Up. It has become a very immediate addition to my health routine. It's quick. It's easy. It's the type of thing you do it and you go, this is me staying on top of stuff in a way that takes so little time because they've made it simple. It's a small habit, has a ripple effect. 96% of people who take Super Greens daily say it helped them increase their daily intake of vegetables and helped them feel healthier. And because it's free from sugar, dairy, gluten, and anything artificial, it's something you can feel good about taking every day. Whether you're juggling work, kids, just trying to feel a little more like yourself, Live It Up Super Greens are a small step that makes a big difference. Live It Up is offering you 15% off your first order, including subscriptions, with code BEAUTIFUL. Plus, shipping is always free. Head to letsliveitup.com/beautiful. Use the code BEAUTIFUL for 15% off your first Super Greens order. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Delete Me. What a vital service. I love talking about Delete Me. Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. Few things you should know about because it's really real. You have to start looking into these data brokers. It's wild. They make money off of your data. Your data's a commodity, right? You look into so many websites out there, and if you look into their business model, it all revolves around data. People are out there. Anyone on the web can buy your private details. It's really shocking. It can lead to identity theft, phishing attempts, harassment, but you can protect your privacy with Delete Me. You don't want your name, your contact info, your social security number, your home address. You don't want those floating out there. You don't want them for sale. I have said it on the show a bunch of times, and I think people have picked up on it. I've made a lot of work that has a cult fan base, and that's so nice. But it also means that there have been some situations in life where I feel like lines have been crossed, where I feel like I really need things like my home address to be private, where I have a wife and a kid at home and I need to know that we are as safe as we can be and that they're as safe as they can be. And when I tell you that there was enough concern that in the past I had started signing up for sites that said they could protect my data. That's a real thing. And then Delete Me came into my life, and Delete Me found so many examples of data brokers that the other services just plain old didn't catch. It's why I'm so confident and comfortable endorsing Delete Me, full-throated to the hilltops. I personally lived an experience where I saw them just setting the bar way higher as far as their ability to protect my data. It's cool. I get the privacy reports. It shows which of the sites tried to add my data back in and how they yanked it right back down. I really can't thank Delete Me enough. This goes well beyond them being an advertiser. My personal peace of mind, my family safety, I feel like those things have increased because of Delete Me. It's totally true. Take control of your data. Keep your private life private. Sign up for Delete Me now at a special discount for our listeners. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/beautiful and use promo code beautiful at checkout. The only way to get 20% off, go to joindeleteme.com/beautiful. Enter code beautiful at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/beautiful. Code is beautiful. Thanks again to all the advertisers who allow our show to exist. Now let's finish off the phone call. You summed it up so hardcore. It's beautiful what you just said. So now I feel like I can ask you about the patents.
Sounds good. Okay, so I got my patent. I was still in college. I was doing a co-op internship where we'd have a semester in school and then a semester as an internship and kind of alternate back and forth. And so it was a little bit of right place, right time, but I also am definitely proud of them. I was working at a med device company that makes staplers for usually overly obese patients who have a stomach reduction surgery. The staples that reduce the stomach were the products that I was working on. And they have a staple cartridge that goes into it like a regular stapler. But there's different sizes based on patient anatomy. And if you put the wrong size staple cartridge in, they had a couple cases where the surgeon fired the stapler, the cartridge rejected out of the gun into the patient and killed the patient. And so a really high up director came to the team I was working on and was like, all of you cancel all of your meetings, come into the conference room. Nobody's leaving until we figure this out. And he was like, we need to figure out how to not kill people with our device.
Wow.
Go. And he left. He was like, come back to me when you have a solution.
He just came to you, said, we got to figure out how to not kill people. I'll be back later. And then he just goes and grabs lunch.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
And so I'm still in college. I think I was maybe 20, maybe 21 at this point. And I was like, wait, why am I in this room? What's going on? Why am I responsible for not killing people now? And it wasn't just me. There was maybe 10 people in the room. But we started with, so I think that was the right place, right time part of it. And then once I was in the room, I was like, all right, well, I've got ideas. I want to contribute. I'm going to do the best I can here to put my ideas on the table. And so we started, everybody wrote down, by yourself, you wrote down as many ideas as you could come up with. And then you got with a partner and kind of fledged them out to pick which ones seemed viable or matched or whatever. Then you got with a group of 3 and 4, and we kept adding people until you were at the whole group to kind of filter the ideas down. And at the end, we had 7 ideas that we had written on a whiteboard that we were going to actually start coming up with designs for and stuff. And 2 of those 7 were from my original by myself time idea list. And I was like, yeah, I contributed. Mm-hmm. And then we kind of molded those 7 into, it was three patent applications. 2 of them have been awarded into patents and 1 of them is still in application stage.
Congrats.
Thank you.
That's wild.
Yeah, but it was,
figure out how to make this not kill people. That's Wild.
Yeah. And like engineering is predominantly a male dominated space. So as a young female and like having not graduated yet, like I felt very out of place. I think it was only me and one other girl, and then the rest were guys. And to have like two of my ideas go all the way to the final stage, that was like a huge self-confidence thing of like, I can do this, and like I do have good ideas, and like this is the right space for me.
I really find myself again going, it's pretty badass. I hate to keep using the same phrase, but when you put it like that, you're looking around at a bunch of men and some of them are older and you're one of the ones who leads the charge. I love it.
And this is my pitch for why diversity is important, because one of my ideas was I was wearing a bracelet and I was looking at the clasp of the bracelet and I was like, that would work. If we had that clasp to the back of the stable cartridge, we're golden. None of the guys were wearing bracelets. So that like my environment being a little different let me come up with ideas that no one else had.
Love it. I love it. And is what you've developed going into action? Like, is it already starting to, are people embracing it? Is it going to save lives? Is it out there doing so already?
So I'm not sure. The short-term solution was they took that specific device off the market. Because even though like coming up with an idea in that meeting, it's still going to take time to like fully develop it and prototype it, manufacture, all that kind of stuff. Sorry, a big airplane just flew by. I don't know if you heard that. So like it's not going to be an instant solution. So they took that product off the market while they were waiting for a solution. And then there was like a second generation of like mechanical devices that they were going to add it into. I will say one of my like biggest moral dilemmas, I think, that I hold is that I'm so proud of these patents and I feel like I really contributed to it. And like, I have an idea that is going to work to save lives, but patents, I think, are largely business protection devices. And so basically what the patent says is that the company I was working for can use this design if they choose in the future. Nobody else can. I think that really gnaws on me as an engineer of like, I want the ideas I put out into the world to make a difference and not just to make some big company money because they don't want somebody else doing the same thing that could help people.
Yeah. And I know in the medical space, there's been some very famous examples of people who have refused patents because they're like, no, this is a life-saving thing. Get it out there. And I'm saying famous, and I can't recall the specifics off the top of my head. But I know that is a thing. And then you see, we even had a recent caller who was very affected by Martin Shkreli gaining the rights to medicines and jacking up the prices. And you go, this is a weird thing to merge, like the proprietary financial side of medicine that should be for the good of all humankind. Oh, here's a good list. The inventor of the seatbelt turned down a patent.
Nice.
The inventor of matches, which you sit here, you never even think of that. But what if matches weren't a thing that were patent free? The inventor of the World Wide Web. The inventor of the World Wide Web. Yeah, let it remain unpatented. Oh, and the most famous OG of all with this, Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin, who was, perhaps the most famous inventor of the 1700s. He never held a single patent.
Nice.
Also, the polio vaccine. Jonas Salk.
Nice. Those are all big ones for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. All people who had the same gut instinct you had of like, wait a second, is this like an achievement or is this just a money making thing? Let's wave it, get it out there. Let people have things that save and help their lives. Make it easier to get things that save people. Please, medical industry. Please, to this day, we're all out here begging you. Please make it a little easier.
Yeah. And I think where I used that to fuel was, instead of going into a design engineer space, I'm a quality design engineer now, which basically means that I get to be like the policeman or the firewall or whatever you want to call it, to make sure that the products that we're putting out into the market are safe and are actually going to help patients. And I think that I use that to kind of counteract that of like, okay, I can't control what companies do with my designs if I'm working for them, but I can control like being that front line of like, this device sucks, or your testing wasn't adequate, or I don't agree with that rationale, and then blocking things that I think could be potentially dangerous from entering the field.
That's so cool. The implementation of these things you get to be very hands-on with.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the day job, clowning on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
What else? We got 8 minutes left. We've heard about some of the things you've conquered in life, some of the things that gave you more pause as far as reading, which is so eye-opening. We've heard of some of your professional and academic style achievements. I want to hear more about your life.
Yeah. So me and my husband live in in the Rocky Mountain region. And I absolutely love it. We've been like slowly collecting lists of trails that are really like accessible, but like still have really good views. Like a lot of times you can drive up most of the way to a peak and then still do like the summit walk, but not have to walk 10 miles to get there. So those have been really great. I like biking. Biking has been one of the few cardio things I can do that doesn't instantly make my ankles flare up. So I ride a polka dotted bike to work, which is very clowny, and I love it.
I love that. I love that you immediately also listed two things that are love hiking, love biking, all these things you would never expect. I love it.
There's always a way. You just gotta look at it from a different angle. There's a way to do the things that are important to you and the things that you love, regardless of what your body thinks you can do.
Very true. Very true. How did you and your husband meet?
He taught me physics in college.
Whoa, scandalous. Scandalous. Was he a professor or a TA?
No, we were the only two freshmen in our Calc 3 class. And then I walked in and they were like, okay, so like this class should be pretty easy because it's mostly just physics. And I was like, I've never taken physics. And the professor like literally started laughing at me, like out loud, like belly laughing. And he was like, how did you arrive here without taking physics? And I was like, it's not on the little flow chart of prereqs. So then my now husband crash course taught me physics so that then I could continue with the Calc class. And then the next year they updated the flowchart, and now it's a requirement that you take physics first.
That's one of the most romantic stories I've ever heard. So
a little cute story about him. So there was a little room we called the happy room, and there was a piano and there was a ball full of pom poms and guns. It was just like a de-stress room, and it was great. And I would go in there all the time. And at some point on the whiteboard, there was a big quote that someone had written that was like, "You are you, and that's more than enough to make me smile." And I loved that. And I like wrote it on my notebooks, and I like said it to myself all the time. And then now, after we were married, I realized that he was the one that wrote that, and I had no idea.
No way. And was he writing it for you to see?
Yeah. No, he was writing it just generally putting positivity into the world in a space where people come to de-stress. But it it hit me particularly hard.
Yeah, I think it hit all of us really hard. I think I speak for every listener when I say yes. It hit all of us very hard. Can you say the quote one more time?
You are you, and that's more than enough to make me smile.
Damn. And what's his perspective on this origin story? Like, was he just doing a good deed teaching you physics, or do you feel like he turned around and went, she's going to drop the class, and I like her style. I'll teach you physics. Don't drop out. Was he already smitten?
I don't know. He was the first person I ever dated. I didn't date in high school, so I think the early flirting cues I wasn't very good at picking up on. But somehow he stuck around, so he must have did something right.
I like hearing you giggle when you talk about your husband. You're more giggly when talking about him than you've been at any other point during the call.
I like him.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you get out there in the mountains, you get out there on your bike. You got a physics nerdy husband who you've been with since college. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like where things have landed.
Yeah. I think my final big thing that I spend my time on is making crafts out of recycling bin stuff. Or I took a kid's bike and took apart every single nut and bolt and then turned it into a amusement park. So the handlebars are a train track, and some of the little nuts are fry stands, and the screws are all the people.
Truly the most nerdy combination of artistic inclinations and mechanical engineering instincts I've ever heard of.
I like to joke that the best use of my engineering degree is making clown props.
I love that. I love that. So
and I just got my artwork just got chosen on the utility traffic boxes to be on the side of the roads. They just picked 2 of my drawings.
No way.
Yeah.
That's cool. So just the area you're in has a pitch us your art and we'll put it on public display on the telephone poles, and you won. You got it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's awesome. Did they mount it right at the top? Is it up high?
It's the green utility boxes that are on the floor next to the lights.
Got it. That's awesome. So people are going to see your disassembled bikes that have been reassembled into whimsical scenes.
Exactly.
I like it. I like this call. Very good reminder. I don't want to, I don't think this is the absolute truth. And I think sometimes people get into this sort of catchphrase, motivational speaker, self-help thing. It's very popular right now. Self-help is the new true crime, becoming the real big thing out here in podcasts. And I think there's so many people that like to go oh, the only thing that's stopping you is you and this and that. And it's no, that's not true. There's any number of life circumstances that can be a speed bump in someone's life. And that's fair and justifiable and totally okay. And I think the whole culture of pick yourself up by the bootstraps and conquer everything is a dangerous thing to say is easy or achievable for everybody. But it's really nice to talk to you where it seems like you have in many cases shown that to be true, at least in your particular example, in a way that I think is so commendable and cool, that you never settled for anything being a limitation. It doesn't sound like. Seems to me like you are somebody that when challenges are placed in front of you, much like you do with a kid's bike, you go, okay, I'll take it apart and put it back together again. I'll do that with reading. I'll do that with relearning how to walk. I'll become a goddamn clown. I'll play field hockey. I'll take it all apart. I'll put it back together. Maybe in ways you don't expect, but I'll get it done. It's awesome.
Yeah. I try to do my best in the world. My dad always told us to try your best and have fun, and I definitely live by that.
What an amazing note to end on. That is our time here on the free feed. Are you cool to hang out behind the paywall we got at beautifulanonymous.com and talk a little while more?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much. Caller, I can't thank you enough for calling. I loved this conversation. Eye-opening, inspiring, motivating, badass. That's how I think of you. Thank you so much for calling in. Thanks to everyone for listening. Thanks to our producer, Andrea Quinn. Thanks to Shellshag for the theme music. punchup.live/Chris Gethard if you want to know about me, including upcoming tour dates, including tickets to our live taping of our 500th episode coming up in October in New Jersey. Please come on out. It's going to be a good time. We got a voicemail line. It's 973-306-4676. We got an Instagram, Beautiful Anonymous Pod. Join the Facebook group at Beautiful Anonymous, the community. Thanks for listening, everybody. This week on Beautiful Anonymous Plus, here's some of what you'll get from the 5 questions. What's the largest amount of cash you've ever held and why?
Does it have to be paper cash? Can it be...
Intriguing response.
I've held a gold block that was like a foot wide by
What?
6 inches.
How much
By,
is that
3
worth?
inches.
Do you have a sense of how much that might be worth?
I remember.
Why are you holding a giant gold block? Don't forget to sign up for Beautiful Anonymous Plus at beautifulanonymous.com.